That's how he got his name. Hey everybody, Jeff Stone here with another episode of MagicReviewed.com, and this is another one of these injecting it into the normal schedule here. Solo by Taiwan Ben, and inside this box you get, oddly enough, this folded up piece of foam for no reason. You get this bag, you get a Rubik's Cube, which I'll show you in a minute, and this gimmick that allows you to do this. We have the playing card here, and if you watch, the image of a cube will slowly start to, see if we can get the right lighting on. It's hard to, the lighting's there we go. You can kind of see it in the middle there. There we go. But the cool part is it actually comes right out of the playing card, and you can, once you're done, you can even twist it around and show that it's legit. That's the effect, and it does look that good. I mean, it kind of looks like camera tricks, but it's not. And so, what's the effect? You just saw it. What's the method? Well, this card has a lot to do with it, and then this Rubik's Cube has a little bit to do with it. Now, this cube is just a normal 3x3. It's a little 3 centimeter Rubik's Cube that's had a couple things added to it that make it work in conjunction with this. And so it can be twisted and everything, except for right when it comes out of the card, you can only twist it this way, right? Now, there is a little thingy that's on the cube, which I've just removed, and now it can twist any of the ways. I can twist this way. It can be twisted anyway, right? It still can't be handed out, though, because you can see something I'm looking right at right here, okay? That's okay. There's no rule that says everything has to be examinable, so I don't have a problem with that. But that is the method, and the reset is pretty simple, straightforward. In fact, I'll just kind of do it while we're sitting here, and I am done. That's the reset. It just took me a second to do that. Now, I will say this. On the lighting here, you can kind of see at the top of the gimmick there, the black from the gimmick. You can see it a little bit more in person, but it's the kind of thing that they don't know it's coming, and why would they think that, hey, I bet there's somehow magically hidden in here a Rubik's Cube, right? Yeah, there's not thinking that. So I don't think it's too much of a problem, but I just wanted to let you know that you can kind of see a little bit of the black there. But the whole, I mean, the moment you are ready to do things, they're going to start seeing the black right away. You can sort of see it there now, right? And now it's appearing and just becoming more and more visual there, right? Yeah, it sort of shows at the beginning, but that's the whole point. You're going to show it to them anyway, right? So sorry if I'm mumbling there. That's the basic idea. So how's the product quality?
You might want to think about buying a quality product from me.
It's actually solid. This is very doable. What you just saw is totally doable. And I haven't practiced it at all. I've just played around with it for a couple of minutes, and I showed it to you. Now, I'm not claiming that you just saw a brilliant performance. You just saw me work the gimmick, which is all you're going to learn from the tutorial. The tutorial is like 12 minutes, and it's just a video where there's music, and it sounds like there's 2 different music tracks playing at the same time that sort of clash with each other. And then there sounds like there's background noise too, and I can't tell if it's the music tracks or if it's the actual, like an audience in the background or people walking around the background. But it's loud, and then he's trying to talk over all of that. It's just really bad. And it's very choppily presented. It's basically, he exposes how the gimmick works. He doesn't teach you really anything. And then he has what he calls routine A and routine B. It's not even a performance for the camera. It's a walkthrough. Basically, he says, okay, put the cube in your pocket and then force this card. And he does show you a force. And then he says, okay, now get the cube into finger palm. This is what he's saying to the camera. And then he's like exposingly showing you how it's loaded onto the card. Nowhere do you get a full, here's what it's going to look like from start to finish. Every step of the way he's exposing and showing. He never shows you what it'll look like. The reason I have a problem with that is because getting the cube in place, it's not as straightforward as you might think. I mean, it's not hard and it is doable, but with real people looking, it's a lot trickier than you might think. And you'll notice in the trailer, there's no audience anywhere. It's only just that visual moment where the cube comes out of the card. Anyway, long story short, you'll never really get any tips on how to do this for a real audience. And I think that would have been extremely useful. I mean, I need to put my own presentation and my own personality into it, but I also need to know, so what are some of the finer techniques and how to get there, right? And in the world that we're living in today, I mean, maybe this was just meant specifically for what you saw me do a minute ago on camera, on Zoom, like, hey, watch this cool thing, right? And there's no other purpose to it. If that's what you're looking for, this is perfect for that. If you're looking for some sort of a routine and you have some sort of an idea of why am I producing a cube from a card and you like that, you still might be a little disappointed that there's really nothing shown on how to, in a real world situation, get into this. It is a little angly, right? Right now, I can show the card both sides, but when I'm ready to go, there's an angle problem here, and back here. They can't be behind you. They can't be too far on your right or too far on your left, depending on which hand you're using. If they're super tall, they can see down, they could see a problem. So because of those issues, it is a little angle sensitive, and he doesn't talk about any of it other than mentioning that the angles exist. But there's no tips or pointers from a real person that's really done this for real people on how to get set up and ready to go in a real situation. Final thoughts on this. The effect is great. It's visual, it's magical looking, excellent. The method is easy and it's very reliable. No worries there. Just the angles be aware of. The product quality, it's solid. The gimmick is well made, it's well put together. The only thing I'll say is he mentions that if you want to hand this out, you can do a switch for another cube. Well, I looked and I have sources where I know where to buy Rubik's Cubes. I could not find a white Rubik's Cube of this size anywhere. And so I'm not sure where he sourced these. So it would have been nice to either tell us where to get a second one so I could buy it or just include it. I mean, the whole thing's only $40 as it is, which I think is extremely reasonable considering all the stuff you get here. I'd be willing to pay $5 or maybe even $10 more if there was a second Rubik's Cube. Again, if you don't mind not being able to hand it out, because you can still show that it is real, because it really does spin, you can show that. So that's your call. Final verdict, 3.5 stars with the known status of gem. That's it for this one. Now it's time for you to like, subscribe, share, comment, buy me a Diet Coke. No, Diet Pepsi. And listen to the random iTunes song of the moment, which is... Oh, I love the song. Candlebox. Whatever happened to them? Cover Me by Candlebox. I'll put a link to this. Go buy this album, or however you listen to music these days. Do you buy albums anymore? Candlebox. I don't really have any great stories to tell. Just this album is like the epitome of that 90s vibe of music back then. And this album is just excellent.
Excellent!
That was Cover Me by Candlebox. Thanks for watching. Sorry about the weird lighting, and we'll see you next time. Peace out. It's all just walkthroughs. What is going on with my lights?